Now the second sentence is being our sleep and the Jizuna gives a much about in the sky before me, that is your front space. That is a couple of meters away from your the front space means a couple of meters away from you. Okay, 1 meter, 2 meters, okay, something like that. And it shouldn't be very high up there. You don't visualize up there in the sky. Front space means just at the level of your forehead. So if it goes up too far up, it creates distraction. You know, your mind looks up, goes up, so it creates distraction. So you can be distracted with other things. So your meditation will be disturbed. So it shouldn't be further up or far out, but at the level of you visualize at the level of your forehead. Okay. What he says, in the sky before me, on lying thrones, you know that the throne you visualize supported by lions, 8 lions, with lotus and moon seats. On top of that throne, you can visualize the lotus cushion, and moon disc on top of lotus cushion. See the holy Guru with beautiful smiling faces. That you understand. Supreme field of merit, that you understand. For my devotion, please stay 100 eons to spread the teachings. Okay? So that you understand, but you have visualized. So in the heart, then you invite them when you requested to them to come to you. Then they come from the heart of Lord Buddha, Lord Maitreya, on the cloud. The root of the cloud is still in the heart of Lord Maitreya, no down. Okay, the root of the cloud is like a thread, white thread. It's looking like white thread at the heart of Maitreya in Tushita. And I told you where is Tushita. You remember that? So from there, on the cloud there are 3 Zangpo with his sons. They're there and they come like this. On the cloud come from the heart. So the cloud, the root is always in the heart of Lord Maitreya. You should not cut that. It is there. But the main cloud is coming to you, and then at the front space, then you set that, and then the middle throne is slightly higher and bigger than the side thrones. The side thrones are slightly lower than the middle one, and slightly smaller, and the height of the suns are slightly smaller. That is to be visualized. So others, as it has mentioned in the book, you understood, I hope. That is, and then you request them to sit before you all the time, and not for a short time, for a long time, for eons and eons. You sit there to bless you, and not only to bless you, but for the sake of teachings of Buddha, to flourish the teachings of Buddha in the world. You please sit here and to bless all of us, all sentient beings, all human beings in this world. Please bless us. For that purpose, I'm requesting you to sit here forever. That kind of request you should make. Okay? So this is requesting That is one of the 7 practices. Okay? One of the 7 practices is requesting to your guru to stay forever. So actually, normally, when we practice the 7 limbs of practice, the requesting, it comes at the end. The 5th one is the requesting. But here, maybe this particular practitioner who saw Zangpo, he did first when he saw, he asked them to stay forever. So he did it this way. So the requesting came at the first. But there will be another request afterwards. That was maybe added afterwards. So you can do 2 times requesting. But sometimes, some prayers we don't do the latter part of the requesting, because requesting is already done. Either way is right, not wrong. Okay? So that is the requesting. That's the 5th practice, but here comes at the first, at the beginning. Okay? And then second practice is prostration. Prostrate to the body, spirit, mind of Zangpo. Your mind of pure genius that spans the whole range of knowledge. Genius that spans the whole range of knowledge. The first sentence is prostration to the mind. So, the mind of Buddhas, mind of Zangpo. So, mind of Buddhas, actually, the best of the mind is wisdom, the wisdom of Buddha. So, all the Buddha's wisdom put together, that is called Manjushri, right? The Zangpo is the emanation of Manjushri. Therefore, normally when we prostrate in the tradition, prayer, all the other prayers, we prostrate first to the body, and then to the speech, then to the mind. And this time, it is other way around, because he is the emanation of Manjushri. Okay? That's why. So, the first one is prostration to the mind of Zangpo. Okay? And how is his mind? Is a description of his mind. His mind realizes all phenomena. It's Buddha's mind, omniscient mind. And he can measure all the phenomena. So there's no phenomena that he cannot measure. So his mind is omniscient, and his mind can measure all kinds of phenomena, and that is your mind. So I prostrate to your mind, which has all these qualities. Okay, and then prostration to the speech. Your speech of eloquence, jewel ornament for the fortunate ear. So his the speech, the Buddha's speech is Buddha's speech has certain qualities, a lot of qualities, and actually immeasurable qualities. But one of the most well known is that whosoever hear his voice, there is no chance to be disturbed or to feel miserable or to feel sad or so. Whosoever hears his voice, they feel bliss and enjoys the rhythm and the words and the rhythm and the voice. Whether Buddhist or non-Buddhist or even animals, they can enjoy the voice of. So that is. And then Buddhas, whenever he gives talks or teachings, no matter what kind of language you speak, he speaks in one language and you hear, the listeners will hear in their own languages. If there are 10 different language speakers are listening to his talk, then they will, each of them will hear in their own language, but Buddha will talk in one language. But that is another quality of Buddha's speech. And Buddha's speech is immeasurable, because once Buddha was giving teaching in India, and then one of his main disciples is Shariputra, and Shariputra is considered the most powerful disciples in miracle. So to perform a miracle, he cannot be competed. So he went up in the God realms. He flew up in the God realms to listen how far Buddha's teaching can reach, to measure how far Buddha's voice can reach. And he went up in the thousands of miles. But still he is hearing as if he is just before him, in front of him. So Buddha's voice cannot be measured at all. So that kind of qualities, you think of that kind of qualities, all the qualities, and then you admire at them, and yet you pay respect. That is prostration to the speech of Buddha, prostration to the speech of Gompa. Okay, you understand? Your body of beauty now, prostration to body. Your body of beauty, resplendent. Resplendent. What is resplendent means? With the glory of fame, I bow to you, so beneficial to see. That's fine. No? Hear and remember. You understand? The body is outstanding. His body is there. It's outstanding. It's outstanding. Buddha's body is like that. And glory of fame, because this fame actually it has used here because his name, this verse contains his name. So one of his name is fame. So he has to use that word over here. So actually, so you can explain in this way also, because he's so famous. He became so famous because of his qualities in Tibet. When he was in Tibet, he was the as it is said in the prayer to Tsongkhapa, is a crown ornament of all the scholars in Tibet. His two main disciples, they are the scholars of Sakapa tradition, but they are admired at his knowledge, and so they later they became the disciples of Gompa. So actually, you know what? Because both of them, they went to see Gompa with the intention to debate, because Gompa was becoming more and more famous in Tibet then. And then they were also great scholars, but from different sect, different tradition. So they went to see Lama Tsongkhapa, Tsongkhapa, to debate with Tsongkhapa, and with intention that they are quite confident that they can defeat Tsongkhapa. So maybe it is said that it may be possible that if they debate, they can defeat Tsongkhapa. It may be possible because they are great scholars. But they never debated. They never debate. So the elder one, the Geshe, when he went to see Tsongkhapa with that intention first time, and then Tsongkhapa was giving a teaching. Tsongkhapa the Great, he was giving a teaching in a big gathering. Okay? So Geshe, he went there. And then he came over with his hats on, because he wants to show his arrogance, And he came over, but Tsongkhapa just ignored, didn't look at him or do nothing. So he came in. And then Tsongkhapa was giving teaching. So Geshe came up to his throne. So Geshe, he also wanted to sit, because he says he don't deserve to sit down. So he came up, and then Tsongkhapa moved a little bit, gave space. Tsongkhapa moved like this, and gave space and let him sit. So Geshe, he sat there. Okay? And then Tsongkhapa just carried on his teaching. And then he was listening beside Tsongkhapa. And then what happened? So after some time, Tsongkhapa was teaching, and then he was listening, and his teaching was so deep, so profound, so great anyway, in the words, that style, the words that he's using, the knowledge he has got, all are amazing. And then he admired, slowly he admired his teaching. And then he slowly stepped down, a little bit over here, and at the end he was among the listeners. So it became like, then he became his disciple, one of the main disciples. Similarly, the other one, the younger one, also that kind of story is there. He was a great debater. But he also came with intention to debate with Tsongkhapa, but of course no need to do that. He didn't need to do that. Okay? So they come. So very famous. And the body is outshining and outstanding. And then it is meaningful. It is meaningful if you see his body. It is meaningful if you hear about his body, speech, mind, the qualities of his body, speech, mind. So that kind of that kind of qualified body, speech, mind, I prostrate. That is the prostration. So now over here, if you want to do, you can do physical prostration. You get up and you can do 3 times of the prostration, or 21 times of prostration, or 51 times, or 100 times, or 1,000 or whatever. But if you, however, you cannot do it, or you don't have time to do it, then while you're doing it, you put your hands together in lotus form and pay respect from your mind with remembering the qualities of his body, speech, mind. That is prostration. Okay?